the resistance swelled to a formidable force, united under Adesewa's banner. Refugees, farmers, artisans, and former soldiers rallied to her cause, emboldened by her unwavering resolve. Every village liberated from Ajijola's grasp brought new hope, but it also fueled King Adesewa's wrath. On the morning of the decisive battle, Adesewa stood before her people. The sunlight illuminated her face, revealing both her youth and her indomitable spirit.
We fight not just for vengeance.
She declared, her voice carrying over the crowd.
We fight for justice, for freedom, and for the right to live without fear. Tomorrow, we reclaim our dignity and honor.
Her words ignited a fervor among her followers, but her heart was heavy. She knew the cost of war, and she prayed it would not break the spirit of her people. At dawn, the resistance clashed with Ajijola's forces on the open plains. The battlefield echoed with the clang of swords and the cries of the wounded. Adesewa fought at the forefront, her movements graceful and lethal, her presence inspiring those around her. Akintola stood by her side, his arrows striking with unerring precision. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with. But the battle took its toll, and the sight of fallen comrades weighed heavily on them. As the tide of the battle turned, Adesewa found herself face to face with King Adesewa. He was clad in golden armor, his presence commanding but his eyes filled with arrogance.
You think you, and that my useless son can defeat me?
He sneered.
You are but a child playing at war.
Adesewa raised her sword, her gaze unwavering.
I am the daughter of Atarun.
She said, her voice firm.
I carry the strength of my people and the legacy of my parents. Your tyranny ends today.
Their duel was fierce, the clash of their weapons reverberating across the battlefield. Adesewa was a seasoned warrior, but his overconfidence was his undoing. Adesewa fought with a purpose greater than herself, and with a final, decisive strike, she brought him to his knees.
Kill me.
Adesewa spat, his voice dripping with venom. Adesewa hesitated, her sword poised to deliver the fatal blow. She thought of her parents, her people, and the countless lives ruined by this man. But she also thought of the future. She wished to build a future, free of the cycle of hatred and vengeance.
No.
She said, pointing her sword towards him.
Your death will not heal the wounds you've caused, but your defeat will mark the end of your reign.
She ordered Adesewa to be imprisoned and declared the restoration of Atarun. The remaining Ajijola soldiers, demoralized and leaderless, surrendered. As the sun set, Adesewa stood before her people, now free and united. The flames of war had subsided, and in their place, a new dawn emerged. The battle ended, and with King Adesewa imprisoned, the people of Atarun reclaimed their land. The once scorched plains began to bloom again as survivors returned to their homes. The palace, though still bearing the scars of war, stood as a testament to the resilience of its people. Adesewa walked through the throne room of her family, her heart heavy with memories of what had been lost, and filled with hope for what could be rebuilt.
Mother and father, I miss you. I have finally reclaimed our kingdom. Not only that, but I have also merged the two kingdoms, so there won't be any war anymore. I wish you were here to see this.
Adesewa wailed. Just then, the elders of Atarun gathered, their voices unified in one decision.
Adesewa,
Chief Balagan declared.
you have not only led us to victory but have also shown us what it means to be a true leader. You are the rightful heir of Atarun, and we humbly ask you to ascend the throne as our queen.
Adesewa, standing tall despite her exhaustion, looked out at her people. Their eyes reflected trust, hope, and admiration. She agreed, humbled by their faith in her.
I will serve with honor.
She said,
Together, we will restore Atarun and ensure it remains a kingdom of justice and peace.
Adesewa's coronation was a grand spectacle, a testament to the strength and resilience of her people. Dressed in exquisite royal attire and intricate, also a robe adorned with gold beads. She walked through the palace courtyard, where warriors, elders, and villagers gathered to honor their new queen. The air buzzed with the rhythmic beats of talking drums, and the scent of celebratory feasts filled the air. As Atarun welcomed a new era under her rule, the cheers of her people echoed in the air, as she was crowned Queen of Atarun. Akintola stood among the crowd, his heart swelling with pride. Their journey had been fraught with pain and sacrifice, but seeing Adesewa take her rightful place made every hardship worth it. After the coronation, Adesewa approached Akintola. He bowed before her, but she reached out, lifting his chin to meet her gaze.
You've stood by me when I had nothing.
She said softly.
You believed in me even when I doubted myself. I cannot imagine rebuilding this kingdom without you by my side.
Akintola's eyes widened, his voice catching in his throat.
Adesewa,
She smiled.
Will you stand with me, not just as an ally, but as my partner, my husband, and the king of Atarun?
Akintola's breath hitched as Adesewa's words settled over him like a heavy mantle. His heart pounded, not with joy, but with fear.
Adesewa,
He whispered, his voice laced with hesitation. He took a step back, shaking his head.
I have nothing to offer you. My name, my past, it's tainted. My father was your enemy. How could I possibly stand beside you as your husband?
Adesewa stepped forward, closing the space between them. She reached for his hands, gripping them firmly, grounding him in her warmth.
You are not your father, Akintola.
She said, her voice steady and unwavering.
You fought for me, for our people. You stood beside me when I had nothing but a dream of freedom. You are brave, kind, and just. And that is what Atarun needs in a king.
Tears welled in his eyes as he searched hers, finding only sincerity in love.
But
She pressed a finger to his lips, silencing his doubts.
I do not want a king of noble blood or grand wealth. I want a king with a noble heart. And that is you.
A choked breath escaped him as he realized she had chosen him, not out of duty, but out of love. Slowly, he nodded, and for the first time in his life, he allowed himself to believe that he was worthy of happiness. Akintola stood before her, taking her hands into his.
I will, with all my heart.
He said, his voice steady with emotion. Their union symbolized a fresh start for Atarun. The wedding was a celebration of love, unity, and hope for a brighter future. Villagers danced through the night, their joy infectious as drums and flutes filled the air. As Queen Adesewa and King Akintola stood before their people, hand in hand, they made a vow to rule with justice, compassion, and wisdom. They pledged to honor the sacrifices of those who had fought and to create a kingdom where every voice mattered. And no matter what they face in the future, they knew they could overcome it. Together,